the prophet Hosea stands out, for he has this nuptial notion of relationship between God and the people, and therefore with the soul itself. And here we have this beautiful text, which is often used on the occasion of professions, specifically in the monastic life. It is very fitting for holy virgins. Behold, I will allure her. In French, one says one has to have the 3 A's. L'appel, the call, l'attrait, the attraction, and l'aptitude, the aptitude. And bring her into the wilderness. On parle du désert de Cîteaux. One talks of the desert of Cîteaux. It was and is a shared solitude in which the cell is silence. And speak tenderly to her. This tenderness is an element which is concrete in Hebrew. It has to do with the entrails, rechamim, and we have this element coming through on a daily basis in the Benedictus, which we chant as the sun is rising. The tender mercies, viscera misericordiae Dei nostri, loving kindness. As at the time, yes, this first call, we find it also in the Apocalypse, when the church at Ephesus is reminded of its first love. You have lost your first love. Paul VI was addressing the clergy in Rome one day and asking them to recall their first love, their first joy, the joy they had when they had their vocation. That was in the context of having to sign rescripts of laicization. And actually he was heard to mutter one day, un biglietto per l'inferno. He has a ticket to hell. It hurt his pastoral heart, for a priest is a priest forever. And if he goes away with the priesthood in his soul, even if laicized, he is damaging himself profoundly. For it will never leave his conscience. Of course he can be saved, but it's not a good place to be. And there she shall answer this openness. It is said that one needs to be like a good instrument on which the Holy Spirit can play, and the slightest touch causes a beautiful sound. She will answer as in the days of her youth. In youth, emotions are strong, ideals are strong, and there are points of reference. That's why it's good to write down resolutions made in youth in retreat. They can be got back to later on. As at the time when she came out of the land of Egypt, we don't want to bring Egypt with us, or to go back in imagination to the cucumbers and the onions that were there. Egypt comes in when, for instance, the television comes into the cloister, or people from the outside creep in and bring all their noise with them. Now it can also be all the realm of modernity on new gadgets, and we know what that means and what it leads to. And in that day, you'll call me my husband. It is to do, therefore, with a spousal relationship. We are called to love. And no longer my bow. And I will betroth you to me forever. This lobster language coming through again. Betrothals. The ring is worn at the profession of a holy virgin. I will betroth you to me in righteousness and in justice, in steadfast love and in mercy. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you shall know that and you shall know the Lord. In Hebrew, the word knowing is very powerful. We know the person that we love. We feel that person, and we know what that person thinks. So it is that when we are called to love, we pick up the vibes. We know what he wants of us. And in the desert, it is more easy.